morning, dear hearts. We are now on lesson 249. Please subscribe. Today's lesson, forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. And today's lesson and then tomorrow's, and we have completed this section of new relevant thoughts in part 2 of the workbook and on to the next one. But today's lesson actually speaks of the first relevant thought that we were given, the first section, which was about forgiveness. Because today's lesson is forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. And what is forgiveness? Do we need to be reminded of it? Well, we get to see forgiveness as different than how it has been seen in this world. Because what is categorized as forgiveness in this world is not forgiveness at all. It's a bargain that is being made between brothers to allow something that is between them to be quieted down, but not to go away, just for it to sit and fester until it comes back up again. It is not real forgiveness, because what real forgiveness does, forgiveness is that miracle that heals all judgments and lets us see that what we thought had occurred never truly did. Forgiveness, we had 2 lessons way back in lessons 62 and 63. So that would have been like then in March that we had these 2 lessons. And lesson 62 was forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Forgiveness indeed is one of our functions as the light of the world. And we are the light of the world because we are an extension of God. And God is light. We are light because we are that extension. Light is within us. It is who we are. Lesson 63 is the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. Well, there would be peace in every mind if there was never any judgment. So forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. And what do we have left to occupy our mind? Just peace. Peace is there. Peace is what is uncovered with forgiveness. And when all those judgments and those grievances and those opinions and criticizing thoughts, when all of those are released, then what lies beneath all of that is deep, true, abiding peace. Today's lesson says forgiveness paints a picture of a world where suffering is over, loss becomes impossible, and anger makes no sense. And anger never really has made any sense, but it is the reaction of an ego mind when the ego mind feels put upon, or that, again, there's a grievance, there's a judgment. Immediately the reaction goes into anger. Attack is gone and madness has an end. Forgiveness makes right all of the false thoughts that have ever been within my mind. And I see they make no sense now. What suffering is now conceivable when anger has an end. What loss can be sustained? The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving. It is now so like to heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. We are the light of the world, and so the world we see will be reflecting our light. And so the journey which the Son of God began has ended in the light from which he came. Again, we have the idea, the suggestion here, the truth, that this is a journey without distance. It is light returning to light, source returning to the source. Our source is God. We return to the source from whence we came, which is God. The children are coming home. Father, the second part is the prayer. Father, we would return our minds to you. We have betrayed them, held them in a vice of bitterness, and frightened them with thoughts of violence and death. Now we would rest again in you as you created us. And there it is, one more time, in one more lesson, this truth that we are as God created us. We are simply returning home, releasing all of the bitterness, all of the fear, all of the anger, all of the anything that is less than joy, so that we may come home to the light, which is where we are meant to be. Nothing remains except the joy of abundance and of charity and the joy of happiness. That's maybe redundant, but it is just completely all-encompassing. The world is now bathed in the light that we are. This is indeed can be defined as the happy dream, and this is where we go right before we make the final step to come home forever. And I think that's it for now. So forgiveness ends all my suffering and all my loss today. It ends all of the suffering and all of the loss for any of my brothers, for any living thing in this world. Forgiveness makes right what was thought to be an error that the Son of God could possibly have thought. So please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. Please be here tomorrow for the last lesson of this section. And be well, be happy, have a miraculous day. Namaste.